going on, guys, and welcome to Friday night. We are closing out the 21st week of investing on this channel, where we are investing $50 every Monday through Friday into dividend-paying stocks to retire early. So we're going to go over a couple things. Some cool stuff in the portfolio happened this week. Some brutal stuff in the portfolio happened this week. And we're so close to a couple goals that we had preset on different aspects of life. So we're going to take a look at our YouTube channel tracker. We're going to take a look at Sofi, and then we're also going to take a look at Seeking Alpha. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So first we're going to take a look at our channel tracker, and I had the win ticket on my sales just down between clips. My computer crashed to run an update on me after I had basically finished the whole video. So here we go. Today's date, it is Friday night on May 26th of 2023. My weight is down to 270.2 pounds. So guys, I have on day one of keto, which was about 3.5 weeks ago, I was 289.6, which means 3.5 weeks of doing keto, I am down 19.4 pounds, which is absolutely amazing. That's not in the spreadsheet, but I feel really good about almost being down 20 pounds. My total weight loss over the course of the year is 28.5 pounds. So, I feel really good about that. I'm trying to, by next Friday, be 265. That's my goal that I set for myself. So I got 5 more pounds to go in not a long time. But we're going to finish keto out strong, and then I'm taking a week off of dieting. We're just going to live normal for a minute and then go back to dieting to keep this weight loss train rolling. So investment balance, we're at $59, $59. That would be good. We're at $5,950.33. Total dividends earned, we are at $55.57, so no change there. Total growth, unfortunately, we are actually down right now, and we're going to take a look at that, but we are down $11.49 on our portfolio. YouTube income, still at $100, earned some revenue from people signing up for Sofi. Guys, if you want to sign up for Sofi, there's a link in the description. They give you free stuff. The total subscribers, we're at 1765, so there's a couple new folks. I appreciate you. For those sticking around, I appreciate you as well. Total views, we're at 200,724 total views, and our total watch hours are up to 3793.7. So growth in the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, no real growth in the portfolio, so that's not good, but we'll look at that and we'll kind of what's going on. But as far as weight loss stuff, I feel really, really good about it. But we're going to take a look at Sofi, just a little bit of a different look, something we don't do that often, but we're going to take a look at the Sofi account before we dive into Seeking Alpha, just to show where some of this account value drop is coming from, because we have a couple things that have come down a lot, and just kind of to put that out there. So let's take a look. All right, so this is my holdings in the YouTube channel account. Basically, it's a list right here, but we're going to look at unrealized gains. That's where our focus is going to be right now, because unrealized gains is really basically everything as far as money earned or lost. So MPW, we're down $89.85. We were down way worse than that. So this is actually good. It's going in the right direction. So I feel good about that. But the newcomer and why we've lost so much recently are these three right here. So AT&T is actually, we're down $85.68 so far this year on AT&T. Realty Income Corporation, the price of that's down in the 58s. That's really low for Realty Income Corporation. So because of that, we're at $78.47 lost so far this year. And then SCHD, was dipping down. It's kind of coming back up, so not as big of a deal. But we're at $44.37 lost. This right here, that's a big chunk of change to be down. Now, obviously, if you add these all up, it's like, well, how are we only down $11? Remember all the options trading that we've done, that premium that's gotten pumped into JetQ, that profit was earned from options trading. So, that does help us out a lot when you have, this is like $250 down just right here. But I wanted to at least point that out just so people know, like, what is it that's down. And sometimes when you get into these holdings where you're like, we have 55 shares of something or 28 shares of something, if it goes down $1, like, you lose $28. If MPW goes up or down $1, I make or lose $55 now at this point. So it's a larger portfolio, and those numbers are going to fluctuate. It's just seeing something like Realty Income Corporation being down in like the $58 range is uncharacteristically low. But there is something that is really exciting in this, all this after hours report is SCHD. Check that out. We are over $1,000 in our holding for SCHD. SCHD made it first. That is our 4-figure holding in the portfolio. So super exciting. That's pretty awesome, I think. Another thing that I just recently added or purchased in this portfolio is because Pepsi's come down quite a bit. So I did buy 2 call options on Pepsi. So where it says Pepsi 187.50 call. This basically means that I have the option to buy, or each option, right? I have 2 of them, but each one gives me the option to buy 100 shares of Pepsi at $187.50. And that will end on June 2nd. So I'm really open for some retracing of Pepsi. I think it dropped quite heavily kind of out of the blue. So we'll see. Basically, we'll see if I end up making all that money, or if I just sell those call options to somebody else, try to pull out some of that premium and maybe buy another share of JetQ. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll watch it pretty close, but kind of a different view. We don't really talk about this that much, but JetQ, I mean, we're up $63.64, which is awesome. So, kind of cool to see that. But anywho, we're going to dive back into Seeking Alpha. This is where I track everything in the portfolio. Let's take a look here, kind of what's going on, sorted by value, not after hours trading. But so Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, SCHD, leading the way. This shows it at just under 1,000. That's 14.17 shares at $70.43. Dividend yield looking good. It's obviously because the prices come back up. The dividend yield looks more normal. It's not 3.7% anymore, but that's okay. Realty Income Corporation, $966.91. That's 16.48 shares at $58.66. So the dividend yield says it all, to me at least, for Realty Income Corporation. So in my opinion, I have the barometer for buying the stock that if the current forward dividend yield is above 5%, that means that it is a good time to buy. If it is below 5%, well, that's pretty normal. Usually it's like 4.5% or 4% is kind of what this pays out. But, I'm not a wealth manager, credit counselor, financial advisor, or anything. I'm a random guy in a triangle-shaped room ranting on the internet. But that's always a good sign for me that a good deal on Realty Income Corp is if the dividend yield is above 5%. So hopefully we'll see some retracing. It doesn't like to stay above 5% for very long. That should bounce back in a little bit. JetQ, JP Morgan, NASDAQ Equity Premium Income ETF. The fund we are buying with options premium. We're at $819.72 there. That's 17.32 shares. And it is now $47.34 per share. This is every trader's dream or every investor's dream. We're showing a 12.35% dividend yield. Okay. That's basically 1% a month. All right. That's insane because this pays out monthly. And we have a year-to-date performance of 15.29%. Guys, I said it at the beginning of the year. I think JetQ is going to be something, and it is turning out to be something. So thank you for taking this ride with me. I do miss buying it for $41 a share. Anywho, next. So back into the stocks that we're buying daily. Pepsi, we're at $532.99. That's 2.9 shares, and the price is down to $183.58. Okay, so there's some good and some bad with this. It is our highest holding of everything that we have. We're putting $5 a day into. The dividend yield is now looking great at 2.75. Pepsi's dividend historically kind of hovers in that 2.4 to 2.5 range. So, we're buying Pepsi cheap based off historical dividends. And at the beginning of June, they're going to take their snapshot for how much they're going to pay us out. So we'll be getting a dividend payout there at the end of next month. So I don't mind buying the Pepsi shares fairly cheaply. Again, what I'm hoping for is that we are above $187.50. I'm going to click into this really quick, and then we'll jump right back out. Here's the week chart. I mean, at the beginning of the week, it was $1.90 and 91 cents. And then we just kind of had this like fall off here. So that was kind of a bummer. I mean, it tapped down to 182. If I take the 1 month chart, you can see here that even at the beginning of the month, it was above 187.5. We had tapped up into like the 196 range, and then just dropped down what I think kind of suddenly. So I think there's, for the $32 gamble that I took on the call option, it is what it is. I that's basically what I'm looking at. I think it should retrace to where it was at the beginning of the week. But that is Pepsi. So our next biggest holding, JEPI, right? JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, or JEPQ's older brother. We're at $525.93 here. It has passed Procter & Gamble. It did that at the beginning of the week, and it has stayed in its position of being better than Procter & Gamble. That's 9.71 shares at $54.14. It's a 9.45% dividend payout. That has become quite stable, and this does pay out every single month. So love the income that we get out of JEPI. It's not as high percentage-wise as JEPQ, but it's been around longer, and it has pretty consistent growth. But right below that is Procter & Gamble. So we're at $518.50 at Procter & Gamble. That's 3.57 shares, $145.40 per share. Again, that dividend's still looking a little bit high. We're at 2.59% here. That's normally at around like 2.4. But we did get paid our dividend this month, so it's going to be a little while till we see some earnings from that. Or not earnings, but like payouts from that. BlackRock, though, sneaking up on Procter & Gamble. So we're at $510.26. We have finally more than 3/4 of a share of BlackRock, so we're at 0.76 shares here. And the price is up to $6.72.30. Just like I was saying, I have sort of a dividend yield barometer for realty income. 3% is my number for BlackRock. So if the price of BlackRock, or the forward dividend yield of BlackRock, is above 3%, like it's a good deal still. If it's in that like 2.5 to 3%, like that's where I feel like it kind of normally trades. So I still feel like we're getting a good deal here. And next month we are going to receive a dividend. So, we have 3/4 of a share right now. In two weeks, they'll take that snapshot and pay us out later that month. But with this being a very expensive stock, they pay $5 per share. So we won't get the whole thing, but we'll get, 3/4 of that. So that's $3.75 or so. That should be a pretty good dividend payout from BlackRock. And it's exciting to see a dividend payout that's like actually kind of sizable from BlackRock. So that'll be cool. And then we have a battle for the bottom between AT&T and MPW. So AT&T stock is plummeting right now. Like, it's crazy. So we have $473.80 of AT&T. MPW, which did plummet and is crawling its way like back, we're at $435.23. So $2.50 is the gap now of our total holdings between AT&T and MPW. So we'll go over AT&T first. We have 28.24 shares at $15.5 per share. This dividend yield is ridiculous. It's 7.33%. So every day that we're buying AT&T, which is a massive multi-billion-dollar company, the 7.33% dividend is what we are buying. So, there is some good to this, but it's down 17.71% year to date. And it was very all of a sudden. So, really not the best thing there. Versus MPW, MPW kind of crashed gradually, and then it's kind of stayed crashed and then came back up gradually. So we're at $435.23 there. As mentioned, we have 54.95 shares, and the price is climbing back up. So we're at $7.92. This forward dividend yield is 15.08%, and the stock's year-to-date performance is down 31%. So, it was worse. It's on its way back up. We're doing well. It's actually, I think, in the next 2 weeks, going to overtake AT&T's position. So we'll see what happens with that. But, plus we are getting a very hefty dividend payout from MPW. MPW, it's paying 29 cents per share. We have 55 shares right now. 55 times 0.29. That's $15.95 of dividends that we're going to get paid out, in July, based off the snapshot of mid-June. That's 3 days worth of buying AT&T. So we'll see. That's more than a share of AT&T. So that's crazy. I think that MPW in the next 2 weeks will overtake AT&T in our position. But let's just take a look at this chart here, guys. So let's go year to date. So this is a stock that was $18, $19, just hovering around 20 for a very long time. I mean, $18 was the cheapest, and then it just plummeted and plummeted and plummeted all the way down to $15.15. I mean, thankfully it's retraced a tad, so we're at $15.50, but this is something that's unbelievable. And it has no short interest. It's people aren't even trying to short this thing. They're like, no, it can't go worse. But it keeps going worse. I don't get it. I don't know. Not a wealth manager, credit counselor, not a financial advisor, just a guy in a triangle-shaped room saying all of that. But back to it. We have these two bringing up the rear. So, Appley and Tesla, I really won't talk about much unless something happens with them. But with Tesla, we have 2.07 shares. It's worth $30.58, $14.80 a share. Now we have seen some serious price growth on this thing. It's grown a lot since we bought it. The forward dividend yield is 36%. So we'll see what happens with that. Appley, we're at $63.84 there. That's 3 shares at $21 or $21.28 per share. They haven't paid their dividend yield yet. This is brand new. I'm hoping that we get a 4% dividend payout on the first go. If we make 4% of $63.84, I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think it's gonna be awesome, but we'll see what happens because these two are just ridiculous funds. I said I was gonna make a video. I am gonna make a video. Working on it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with those two. All right, so that's pretty much what's going on. As far as working out and stuff, I do feel great. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good. I need a haircut really bad, really, really bad. I'm getting pretty shaggy up there. But yeah, building some muscle mass, which feels good. I don't know if you can see with the shirts and stuff, but feeling pretty good about it. Working on my bench press goals and all that, endurance while boxing and stuff like that. I definitely feel great. I'm really hoping to hit 265. So that's that final push for those extra 5 pounds. Keeping at it and working and grinding on that. Just drinking a lot of water. Do what it takes, But I am excited. So on that Friday, finally going to get to go out and like eat some ramen at my favorite ramen spot. And then Saturday, I'm going to be going out to Zuma in Boston at 1 Dalton. I'm going with my dad, so that'll be fun. We got an omakase set up over there, so we're gonna do that and just like, not stuff myself with food. That's not the point, but like just enjoy really really good food, get some good cooking. There's just a wide variety of stuff. Just kind of eat really good food because right now I'm eating like hot dogs and hamburgers with no seasoning. Like it's brutal. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, we can hit that goal so that after taking a week off, I don't just blow up. That's not the goal. I'm not trying to just like get fat. But yeah, so I'm excited to get that whole thing going and kind of close out this month of keto. A month of keto is tough. To those who have done it or are thinking about doing it, I think it's great. But doing it past a month is very, very difficult. So I'm going to switch my diet up. I'm doing a little more research, kind of see what we can do for the next diet and all that. I don't want to be as like fad diet. I want to be like, all right, this is a sustainable, healthy thing that I can just do kind of forever. And if I go out to eat, I can go out to eat. Like that kind of stuff. That's where I'm trying to get. But I'm also challenging myself just to invest more in my like personal life in my regular investing accounts. I invest here every day, so that's like a pretty good start. But for me, I want more than that, and I want to be able to retire faster than that. So I'll throw like $500 randomly into a couple other accounts that I have for me, for my son, and all that, but. I'm trying to take this similar approach and I'm trying to figure out, math wise, what can I do where I can feel comfortable and add into that. So, I'm experimenting with that, just levels of like, how much can I invest that I'm comfortable? And maybe we'll cover that at the end of the year, but this isn't really, that's really not the focus of this channel. The focus of this channel is to say like, hey, this is a reasonable amount that you can invest and push yourself to do. If you do twice as much, you'll have twice as much money as me. If you do half as much, $25 a day, you'll have half as much money as me. And, for anyone who's trying to get into investing, you say, well, I just could never do that. A lot of people, or at least where I live, like I'm fortunate that I live in an urban area, but like, I know a lot of people who can do Uber Eats for like 1 hour after they're done with work. So instead of going straight home, they log into Uber Eats. They'll drop off a couple meals and they'll make that $25. You know what I mean? Throw that straight into the investment, and now you're halfway there. So, it just depends on how hungry you are and how much you want it. And I want it pretty bad. So I'm trying to come to terms with, all right, if I take this same model of what I do here, and instead of being like, yeah, I got an extra $1,000 lying around, let me throw it at this, like, let me throw $1,000 at this. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to like do this regiment, like, all right, so let me take $100 and put it here every day and put $50 here every day and then $50 in the YouTube channel every day. Like, I want to do something like that. And I might even do a video on just talking about why, because I think there's a lot of opportunity there, just in general, for us to retire earlier or live more comfortably, or have enough money where you're like, yeah, I could definitely maybe I should take 2 months off and look at a different career. Not that that's what I want to do. I like my career, but there's people out there, as an example, that would want to do something like that. So I think having, if you can stack like 200K, 300K in a bank account in the next like year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, I think that's a really good thing to shoot for, especially with the economy doing kind of what it's doing. If stuff's going to be down and cheap, I want to get in the habit of putting everything into, or not everything, but a very large amount into investments. So these are the internal dilemmas that I'm having. But this has definitely been a motivating factor to that. Seeing the growth in the channel where I'm like actively looking at it and like going over it every day and all this stuff. It feels really, really good. And like we're already seeing the dividends increase month over month. We're at the point where we're getting 15, $20 a month in dividends. I want that to be $100 a month in dividends. That's what I want. And we're getting there. Like we might be there sooner than we think. Like way sooner than we think. So yeah, it's good. It's going pretty well. So anywho, that's what's going on for this weekend. Everybody enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and remember that hot dogs and hamburgers are typically keto. Just don't eat the buns. That's what I'll be doing with maybe some steak tips off the grill. Not quite sure, but yeah, just as always, I wish you guys all happiness, health, and wealth. And with that, roll the outro.